Hello, white people. When I started out to create this video, my goal was to answer the question, how does wearing a mask affect your pineal gland? I know that seems like a really big stretch, but the mask is going to do several things. One, it's going to create a hypoxic environment, and two, it's going to create a heavily germy environment because your mouth is the germiest place on your body, believe it or not. And so when you're wearing that mask, every time you exhale, you're blowing out all the germs in your mouth. There's bacteria, virus, fungi, all kinds of grossness there. But your immune system is healthy enough that you don't deteriorate. And then when you inhale, you're supposed to inhale some of the germs in your mouth, but because it's in your mask, it's stuck there and it's in a higher concentration, it's going to go down into your lungs, it's going to go up your nose, and essentially you're going to have all kinds of health problems, not just because of the hypoxia, because hypoxia in itself will lead to health problems, and it won't lead to health problems right away, but over time, because not getting enough oxygen stresses your body. It's really stressful for your body. And so, well, what does this have to do with the pineal gland? Well, a lot of things have to do with the pineal gland. I think that this is, it's kind of weird for me to say, or for anybody to hear, when you say it out loud, like the elites are trying to make us into zombies and into slaves. And, something, if you are just a knuckle-dragging, unthinking slave, you do as you're told, then people who are bossing you around are pretty happy. But if you're fighting back and you're able to outsmart them, they don't like that. So what about this agenda to put fluoride in our water? Well, fluoride has been proven to calcify the pineal gland. I mean, and what's this whole big deal about the pineal gland anyway, right? Well, the pineal gland is called the third eye by ancient people. It's thought to have mystical power. The pineal does contain a complete map of the visual field of the eyes. It plays several significant roles in human functioning. So besides being, the third eye, and what does the third eye? Third eye, clairvoyance. It's like being able to really notice the world around you, and being able to read body language, being able to see what's actually in front of you, because we have so many distractions these days that it's really hard. And we're told, and we're, this is psychological abuse, that we're told that what we see is not real. Especially if you're on social media, then, you get all this propaganda in your face, and sometimes you're like, gosh, what is real anyway? And then, anyway, so moving on, so the calcification of the pineal gland, it affects your ability to relate to other people, because people don't just communicate with words, they communicate with body language, and so it's harder for people to communicate that way. And then also the pineal gland, it's a center for the production of the hormone melatonin. It regulates your daily body rhythms, like your circadian rhythm, most notably the day-night cycle, prevents jet lag, is implicated in seasonal affective disorder. So if you have a problem with your pineal gland, then you're going to have some mental health issues. Coordinates fertility. Whoa, coordinates fertility. How is this? So if this is affected, say for example, you're a child who's wearing a mask on there, and I know this is quite a stretch, but if you have a hypoxic environment or a high fluoride environment or something that affects a child's pineal gland and it calcifies it, then they're going to have delayed development, or maybe, when they go through puberty, they're not going to complete that cycle. And these days, a lot of men are very feminine and women are very masculine looking. Even if they don't take, hormone blockers or whatever, things that calcify your pineal gland. And I don't know if I'm correct in saying this. It's almost like using a hormone blocker. Do you think? I don't know. That right there is probably quite a stretch, but a calcified pineal gland will definitely affect fertility. And then also, a calcified pineal gland will also affect deep, restful sleep patterns. The pineal gland, or its Latin name and anatomical name, epiphysis cerebri is a tiny bean-sized brain organ or gland, which is connected to the brain and nervous system through a complex network of bidirectional links. The pineal master gland acts as a true director of the hormone orchestra in the course of growth, puberty, fertility, and aging. So let's see, let's talk about epiphysis cerebri. I wonder if the word epiphany comes from the anatomical name of the pineal gland, because it is the third eye. And then if you have problems with your pineal gland, you're going to have problems growing, puberty, fertility, aging. Okay, so I'm a middle-aged woman, so a calcified pineal gland for me would be difficult menopause, infertility, sleeping problems. Does that make any sense? And then, of course, I'm down this rabbit hole, and what else do I find? Well, I find something about electromagnetic activity affecting people psychologically. I'm like, oh my gosh, does this even ever end? So I'm going to speculate that electromagnetic activity, or the grounding, you know how everything is grounded these days? We have the RFCI, we have grounding rods, we have our wires, our electricity underground, our cables underground. I mean, in some places they're still above ground, but do you even remember the last time that you were shocked? It doesn't seem to happen. When I was a kid, I used to, I was kind of a dingbat, I used to grab the electric fence to be shocked, and I never considered that to be healthy, but some people think being shocked is healthy, but it used to be a normal part of our everyday existence to get some sort of shock from static electricity. And then I'm also seeing that lightning storms are from static electricity too, so that's just really strange. But I'm sure that this is all connected to the pineal gland, because the pineal gland is the master gland of the body, from what I've read. Now, are you guys all really confused? Anyway, the electromagnetic activity from the sun affects our electronic devices and our human electromagnetic field. We are physically, mentally, and emotionally altered by electromagnetic charge from the sun. Our body can feel sleepy, but also become highly energized. Do you feel highly energized on a sunny day, and do you want to sleep all day when it's overcast and rainy? Well, for me, because I come from a place that's overcast and rainy all the time, I actually feel the opposite. I have more energy to go and do things when it's a cloudy, dreary day than when it's sunny. I mean, I feel energized to go do things on sunny days. All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.